What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome to episode 18. I think it's 18 of the Be More podcast, and I am sat in my bedroom, and I've locked myself in the room, and I'm not leaving it until I get this off my chest. Now, this is a rant that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I've been wanting to get it right for a fucking long time as well. And I feel like this could be a podcast that an episode or something that you might watch on YouTube and I'm going to spread it for as many kind of ways of content as possible to try and get you guys to understand how important this is. So my vehicle of trying to make a difference, like I genuinely try and I think I can make a difference in this world, or a difference to at least one person, and then that compound over time. I'm genuinely that's my mission with what I'm doing with my life. Like, I genuinely want to make a difference in people's lives, and I'm getting, like, my heart rate's going up now because I'm so passionate about this. And let's just go through the stats and the reality of what actually is right now. So, obesity since 1975 has tripled. In 2016, 2 billion people were, like, are overweight. That's the stats, right? And by 2034, 70% of the world is expected to be overweight or obese. Like, this is real. The problem, the world is changing, right? The world is changing so thick and so fast, and we can make all the excuses in the world about this or about that and how things are changing as a reason why it's more difficult to get X, Y, or Z. But the reality is, it's never been simpler. It's never been easier. Yes, the world's changing. Yes, the need for jobs where you're doing manual labour is reduced. Yes, there's more sedentary jobs nowadays. Yes, the opportunities to do things on your feet. For people who never used to be overweight because they used to do things on their feet all the time. Whereas now, there's machinery coming in, and there's so much many things being, like, entrepreneurs and innovative stuff is making our lives easier. Like, we don't even need to get off the sofa. I could run a business. Well, I pretty much do run a business from my mobile phone. And you don't. The need to go and do stuff is reduced. The world's changed. But as the world changes, the one thing that hasn't changed is the human body. The human body, energy balance is never going to change. Energy, it's not going to. You can't expect to be, like, in the shape that people used to be in when you consume 7,000 calories a day and don't get off your arse all day. You don't look after your body. The world everything has changed, and we aren't evolving. We will upgrade our phones every fucking 12 months or 18 months. We'll get a new car every 2 years. Or we'll change our house when we feel like this one's had it. But we aren't upgrading ourselves. Or we aren't adjusting to the reality of the way the world fucking is now. And if you aren't somebody who is taking control or trying to take control of your health, then the effect that's going to have, like, I'm trying so hard to get this right, this podcast, this episode, because I know that if I can motivate someone who's listening to this to realise that the effect that it's having on your health, the people around you, your life in general, from you being unhealthy, unhappy with the way you look, not fit, that these things are huge. And the main thing that sparked me to fucking do this podcast was, this is going to be so hard for me to talk about, but this week, my granddad's not been well for a long time, right? And this week I saw him, and I've just seen a man who's given up. Like, he has no hunger or reason to keep going. And all I can see in his eyes is, like, just he's not got nothing left, right? And that, for me, scares the fucking shit out of me. Like, I don't, like, it. I've broken down several times since, and, like, I would say I'm not an emotional guy. I'm not really someone who gets like that, but seeing how he is now makes me want to get the most out of every fucking minute, every human being, and make them realise and get them to understand that we only get fucking one life, that you shouldn't be spending it in a way that isn't serving you and the others around you. Like, if you're hugely overweight and you've got children, what kind of an example are you setting? Like, is that the example you want to set to the people around you? It isn't. I know it isn't. And this is the difference that I want to try and encourage people to realise. Like, your actions, if they aren't aligned, like, everyone wants to lose weight. Everyone has this idea, I want to lose a bit of weight, or I'm going to go and get fit this year. And then I'll see them, and their actions do not align with the goal they've got set. And they'll just get into this routine and this rut of continuously doing things that aren't serving the goals they got set. And it's beyond me. And then you're going to go through life continuously going through that cycle to not actually do things that wake up and become aware of what is actually fucking happening right now. That the world's getting unhealthier, and are you contributing to that? Are you one of them stats that's not actually, like, are you healthy? Like, we only get one body. What are you doing? Like, I know it's a hugely emotional thing, and the food industry is changing, right? That even fucking fruit and vegetables nowadays is pumped with so much stuff to make it last longer on the shelves that we aren't able to get in the nutrition that we used to be able to get. So you have to adapt. You have to realise that there's a reason why the fruit and veg intake has gone from 5 recommended per day to 7, because the quality isn't there anymore. But this doesn't mean you fucking fall into a ball and think, oh, the world's against me. No, you're against you. If that's your attitude and that's the way you look at things, then you're never going to win. And it's not until you realise the reality of the way things is now, you're going to lose if you don't get up to speed with nutrition, health, your exercise, your fitness. Like, this is real. That you need. If there's one thing I would say you must try and do in the next 12 months, it's learn about nutrition. Energy balance is never going to change. Calories in versus calories out is always going to be the go-to for weight loss. It's boring. It sucks. Oh, counting calories sucks. Guess what sucks more? Not being happy with the way you look, being unhealthy, your health markers negatively declining as you go through life, simply because your inability to be consistent on an app on your phone that, if you use for 3 to 6 months, will teach you more about nutrition than you can ever imagine possible if you're consistent with it, that you can then follow intuitively from the 6-month point, because you've learnt about a way to eat that provides you with all the ticks that you need to see in a box sheet that delivers on result, health, fitness, the example you want to set to your kids, because you understand how to feed them. You understand how to feed yourself to make you perform better. Like, this is how powerful nutrition is. We take it for granted. I did for such a long time. It's only now that I'm ranting about it and trying to shout about it, because I understand now the power nutrition has on everything. How we perform, how stressed we are. Look, it sounds stupid, but it's real. Like, how you look, how you perform, stress management, how you sleep, how you are in relationships. Like, nutrition's so important. Like, if you are unhappy with how you look, your nutrition is probably the large reason why. And if you're unhappy with how you look, that unhappiness will then lead into everything else in your life, because you're not a happy person to be around. Therefore, you can't deliver in your relationships, in your career, in the progressions that you want, everything that you want to see. Everything has a knock-on effect, right? Therefore, whereas when you see, like, progress in your diet, in your training, in your weight loss, in your health, all of a sudden you'll notice that you just generally feel better. And when you feel better, what happens? There's a knock-on effect in everything else in your life. And then you perform better in work. You're better in your relationships. You're able to give more. And people are like, what's going on with that guy or that girl? And it's just simply what happens when you invest in yourself. And the power of understanding it. This is the reality of what has to happen. You have to you have to start to understand nutrition. And you have to understand that, okay, I need to adapt. I'm overweight. Or even if you aren't, that there's no greater time than now to invest in your knowledge on nutrition and exercise, and having enough self-awareness to realise that I can't go and stick into Google the best diet to lose weight, because that isn't the answer. You need enough self-awareness to realise that this is how I want to look and feel. These are the foods I like and dislike. This is what I need to the reverse engineer to get to that goal point. Or if you're like completely lost with it and thinking, what the fuck is Jack on about? Then invest in someone helping you, because this isn't something to take for granted. You only have one body with one opportunity at life. If you're not happy with how you look and feel, the greatest investment you'll ever make is in someone who cares about you enough to take time out of what they're doing to teach you how to get to the goal you've got set. Not to give you a diet plan and say, stick to that, mate. It'll work, but it doesn't teach you fuck all. You'll get to the result you want, and then all of a sudden you're like, now fucking what? The diet was miserable. The training program was horrendous. This isn't the answer. The answer is a way of exercising that you enjoy, that you can bring others into enjoy with you, and just have fun with it. And the same goes for diet. Like, you don't have to eat fucking shit, like salads all day to lose weight. There's a massive misconception around this. Like, diets have to be boring. They absolutely don't. Like, my diet, trust me, I've followed every boring diet there is. Results are fantastic, but mentally, it's not. And you don't keep the results that you get from it, because there comes a point where you just binge, because it's not sustainable. And this isn't what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to go on these stupid diets, lose all this weight because you're overweight. What I'm saying is, let's create a lifestyle that can help you and that can deliver the result you want to get, but not that it just gives you a result. It gives you a new lease of life that you can then follow for fucking ever. This is what I say to my clients. I'm like, look, new people coming on board, I'm like, look, tracking calories isn't something that I want everyone to do forever. I just want you to learn about nutrition, because you are the way you are now because of the way you live your life. You've come to me with a goal to change and a goal to look better, and you've seen my results and you're like, can you help me? I'm like, absolutely, but you need to realize you want to have to be able to help yourself as well. Like, I can happily give you a diet plan, right, that will get you mega peeled, like great results in 12 weeks. Then I could plaster that all over social media. I could boost it. I could pay to get loads of people to see it. And then guess what? I could then sell loads more training plans. And this is what most personal trainers do. But then what happens after that 12 weeks? You've got a fantastic result. Your confidence is improved. You're feeling great. But there's something missing. What's that? You didn't learn much. And the second thing is, it's unsustainable. So you don't keep it. And then what happens? You go back to where you were before, because you'll revert back to the way you were. Whereas I'm encouraging people to introduce new habits and introduce new ways of doing things in a way that might take a bit longer, but guess what? You fucking have it forever. And it's something that's progressible forever. Calories in versus calories out isn't going to change. Energy balance isn't going to change. Thermodynamics is not going to change. You get in what you put out. Simple. That's energy balance. If you're trying to build a business, right, and you expect to put in 2 hours a week, you're going to get 2 hours worth of progress in that business. It's fuck all. Same with regards to calories. I'm going to track 2 days a week. You're going to get 2 days a week worth of results. And if the other 5 days are awful, then you're getting no results at all. You're going to gain weight. This has to be something you go all in with. Like, it's never been simpler. Like, I can't explain to you the importance of being educated around nutrition. Like, if you aren't educated on nutrition, you will lose. Like, if you aren't developing your understanding of the foods you should be eating, what's good for you and what isn't. Because at the end of the day, nothing's good or bad. But until you're aware of that, and until you understand the effect each thing will have, like, this is something that people need to understand, that it's important. You shouldn't be winging your way through this part of your life. Like, it's not designed for that. I'm not saying become a fucking personal trainer. I'm just saying look after your body, because you're only ever going to get one. And if you like yoga, go do yoga. If you like fucking lifting weights, lift weights. If you don't do it, like either of those two, don't do them. But walking down the beach is fucking enough. Just get out and move more. Move more, and understand that if your energy balance is in line with your goals, then you're going to see fantastic results. And if you do it in a way that makes you feel fantastic along the way, because you're eating food you like, you feel good, you're full of energy, you're getting enough sleep, your stress management's good, all of a sudden you're getting the results in a way that you can maintain. Not just maintain, but get better with, and progress and progress and progress. And you're looking at years, right? And all of a sudden, 20 years down the line, you're the most healthiest fucking thing in the world. Whereas every other fucking idiot around you is doing this with their diets, up and down, lose weight binge, lose weight binge, lose weight binge. And guess what? They're in a cycle that they can't get out of because they're not making an investment in themselves. Their investment is in a diet that's a quick fix or it's a fad. You're probably thinking, oh, you're a fucking hypocrite, Jack. You do fucking Herbalife. Mate, I'll do that for the rest of my fucking life because it makes me feel good. Like, it isn't a quick fix. It isn't like an 8 week, I'm going to do these shakes and I'm going to go back to what I was doing before. Like, they're practical for me and they give me the micronutrition that I don't get from fruit and vegetables anymore because the fucking fruit and vegetables aren't as good as they used to be. Therefore, there's a reason why, like, I honestly can categorically say for about 18 months to 2 years, my macronutrition, if you understand macros, my macronutrition, which is protein, carbs and fats, were on point. There was days where I'd have a binge or whatever. I'm a fucking human. But generally speaking, like, I hit my protein target for about 3 years in a row. But I didn't feel that great. Looked pretty decent. But it was in and out because it wasn't the most sustainable. I didn't really feel that good. And I genuinely didn't believe that taking a shake would ever change that. I just thought this is the way it is. And there's a reason why I'm now encouraging people to use these smoothies and the multivitamins and these products. Not because I fucking want to make money, but it's because I realise that this stuff's actually fucking good. For someone like me to feel the benefit from them, where I was on point with nutrition, or at least I thought so, I've added this in as a supplement to what I was already doing, and I feel heaps better. I'm like, this is the difference. That the power of having your micronutrition on point is so real. And I didn't realise it. I took it for granted. And I always said to everyone who's ever said to, like, oh, use Herbalife, like, you're a fucking prick. That stuff's shit. Why are you recommending that? Like, there's only one way to get people to lose weight. Calories in versus calories out. And it's true. But if that person isn't feeling good in that process, the chance of them sticking to that process in itself becomes more challenging. Whereas if you've got someone who's full of energy, feeling great, in a calorie deficit, then guess what? It's fucking more sustainable. So this is what I was always led down the path of, or I always thought, when I'm on a diet and I'm in a calorie deficit, so I'm burning more calories than I'm eating, I'm not going to have smoothies or drinks because I want to eat my food. I want to eat my calories. And all of a sudden, I'm now in a calorie deficit. I've been for about 10, 12 weeks in the lead up to the summer. And I'm having 2 smoothies a day. Like, almost 15 to 20% of my calorie intake is coming from drinks. I've completely changed, but what's also changed is my energy and my performance and just how I feel in general. So I'll happily, open-mindedly admit that I was wrong for all that time. But this isn't a pitch. This isn't me saying you need to get on this product. Fuck that. If your diet's shit, let's work on that fucking thing first. Like, this isn't... I just want to try and justify to you that I'm not part of any diet cult or any quick fix. I'm part of... I want to create a lifestyle for as many people as I can to have an understanding of nutrition to enable them to look and feel the way they want to look and feel for fucking ever. It's not about getting them in shape in 8 weeks. It's not about this quick challenge. Yes, I can get results for people quick, but what's important to me is that process and making sure that once they go through that aggressive phase of it, if that's what they want, if they've got a holiday or whatever, because people always come to me like, Jack, I've got 7 weeks. I'm like, good one, fuckface. Why didn't you message me fucking 7 months ago? Then we could have done this a million times better and in a way more enjoyable way for you. But it's just the way it is. And I will then go through an aggressive program with someone, not as aggressive as I possibly could, but an aggressive program. They'll be like, right, now we need a strategy because that was hard. This doesn't need to be hard for you to maintain it and get fantastic results long term. But this is 2018. Everyone has a mobile phone, right? It's one you upgrade every 2 years. Understand that tracking something on an app for 6 to 12 months, 3 to 6 months, whatever, however long it takes you to learn the value of calories and like what's really high and what isn't, and what's the 2 things you need to get right. Okay, let's say 3 things based on what I've just said. It's calories in, so the amount of calories you're eating, and how much protein's in your diet. These 2 are the game changers with regards to nutrition. Micronutrition as well is massive, which I've just spoke about really, but it's like fruit, vegetables, like getting in enough vitamins and minerals in your diet. So important with regards to energy and how you feel. And then the other thing, obviously, is your exercise, right? But you don't even need to do it. Like, as long as your calories are met, like at the energy balance that you need, the reason why I recommend exercise is because it makes you fucking feel good, and it makes the whole process a million times easier. Because guess what happens when you exercise? You burn calories, therefore your allowance of calories can go up, therefore you can eat more. Therefore you can then have a more sustainable process because you can eat more. And you've got more calories that you can dispose of, right? Let's say your maintenance intake is 1,700 calories. If you exercise and burn a fucking 800 calories in a day, or whatever, however much of a session you're having, your maintenance point changes. Therefore, you can eat more. You can eat 2,000 calories and still lose weight. You'll be in a 15-20% deficit. This is what I want people to understand, is that just exercise and make you feel great. Eat better. It should again make you feel great, and then you're going to get the results that you want to get. This is real. Like, I really want you to take, if any of my passion or energy that I'm like shouting at my laptop at now is making you feel like, do you know what, he's right, I need to get my shit in order. Like, I need to start eating better. I need to start learning about nutrition. Just trust me. Like, just track your calories but don't just do it for a few days. And on the days where you fucking fall off the diet, good. I do it too. So does everyone else. Doesn't mean you stop tracking. It doesn't mean you have a binge and feel like, oh, I'm out of control now. You've had a bad meal. Excellent. The next one can be better. It doesn't have to be a whole day or a whole fucking week until Monday to get back on the diet again. This isn't the way the body works. Like, and this isn't what's going to make you feel better either. What will make you feel better is your ability to change that decision that you made and overcome it. Like, you make a bad decision with your diet. Good, everyone else has as well. But then the next decision is the one that will define the progress you make moving forward. If you're like, oh, I've gained weight this week, then you go and binge all day, like, you could gain weight for any kind of reason. Like, you didn't have a dump that day, or you had a really high salt meal, or whatever. But guess what? It doesn't matter. What matters is your process over the long term, because if you have a couple of bad days, it doesn't matter. Because in a year, 2 years, if your lifestyle is one that dictates an energy deficit, then over time your weight loss will be huge, and the way you look and feel will change. But this is what you've got to realise, is in 2 years, let's think of 2 years, right? There's fucking 735 days or whatever it is. 740 days, I think it was. 730 days in 2 years, yeah? Let's say you get 700 right. 30 days, a month's worth that you don't get quite right. Your results will be unbelievable. But the problem people are having is they're not getting that many days right. They'll do a diet for 3 weeks, and they'll eat shit for 9. Because that 3 weeks was so terrible, because they chose the wrong diet. And this is the problem, they're looking for diets. This isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle change. This is one that I want you to make, and realise that it's important that you make as well, because it's going to change your life forever. I mean that. It will change the course of your life forever if you just literally invest in yourself and realise that I need to look after my intake of calories. I need to look after my understanding of nutrition. I need to know I need to know everything. I want to learn. The minute you start to learn about this, you'll be like, wow, I've learned that. Like, and you're thinking, oh, I can't do that. It's too much effort. Like, you learnt to ride a bike, didn't you? You learnt how to use fucking Instagram. You learnt how to use this or that, or you learnt how to fucking work in a business or a company or whatever you're doing. You learnt that. You can learn this too. You might think, oh, I haven't got time. You need to fucking decide to make it. This needs to become a priority, because I will keep repeating myself over and over again that you can't go to Asda and say, oh, I need a new belly, mate. This one's had it. You just can't. Or you can't say, oh, I need a new heart, mate. This sticker's, it's had enough. It's had enough. Yeah, I know heart transplants actually exist. Good one, dickhead. But the reality is, it's not easy. And that's not the way you should be going. Or nor should you be thinking, oh, I can't lose weight. I'm just going to go and get my belly removed. And this is not the way to look at things. It simply isn't. Literally, calories are the most important thing when it comes to weight loss. Nothing comes close. Nothing. The cut carb diet, the low bread diet, whatever you're thinking, lose that off that thought. Just understand that nothing comes close to your energy balance. That's what constitutes your fat loss and making you look the way you want to look. So understand that, right, this is my activity levels. I'm a bit of a lazy one. I'm a bit of a lazy pig. I'm only going to really be able to eat 1,400 calories a day to lose weight. If I eat more than that, I'm not going to lose any. Therefore, what do? You either stick to that amount of calories, or you start moving more. And when you start moving more, you'll start feeling better. Like, over the next 12 months, this will be the greatest investment you'll ever make. Like, this is really that fucking simple. Like, we have no idea how good we have it. How, like, every day I wake up and I'm incredibly grateful for the era we're born in, to the fact that we have all this freedom now, and like, I feel just so lucky to be able to sit in front of this podcast, right, and put this out to potentially hundreds of people who can listen and potentially do something positive with it. That isn't something that people could have done 35, 40 years ago. Podcasts didn't exist. YouTube channels didn't exist. Facebook didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. There's platforms now that enable us to put out a message that someone can take and use. Personal training wasn't really a thing. Like, I've trained 7 clients today. Would I be able to influence them 7 people's lives 20 years ago? I wouldn't. It wouldn't be possible. The greatest investment you'll ever make is in you. You need to understand that. The minute I realised that was the minute that probably definitely defined the change in my life. And there's still days, right, where I'm feeling a bit down, and I'll be like, have I done much for me today? I haven't done much for me today, therefore I'll go and do a little bit. This is selfish for me, because this is about me giving to then help someone who will then tell me I've helped them. That makes me feel really good, knowing that I'm actually making a positive difference. I'm selfish. I want to help people because I want the feeling of them saying to me, Jack, you changed my life. And I've got it quite a few times in my career. I never imagined that'd be possible when I first became a PT, ever. But when you see, like, what I've seen in the last week, when I see the look in my granddad's eyes as he deteriorates over the last 12 months, I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go and do every fucking thing I can to make sure that I'm not leaving any chips on the table. Like, do you play poker? I'm not a poker player. I hate it. Don't really like it. I get bored. I can't sit still for that long. But my mates all play poker at the weekend. And I was thinking to myself, when you're playing poker, if you've got a decent hand, right? I heard this from Gary Vee the other day. If you've got a decent hand, what do you do when you're playing poker? You go all in. You go all chips in, right? Now, you've listened to this podcast now for about half hour. Everything I've told you will change your life, right? The minute you boss calorie counting, the minute you understand more about nutrition, the minute you take control of your health, the minute you invest in yourself, the minute you choose to be the most important driver of where you're going in your life, because you are the driver. If you're not seeing the results you want to see, if you aren't happy, it's your fault. Understand that. You can take control of that, and understand that, like, when you see regret, or when you see someone who's deteriorating, it makes you fucking realise you got to grab life by its horns and go and take everything you can from it. This thing we have is so short. I'm only 20. I'm 27 next year. Just turned 26. I'm not nearly 27. Give me a break, right? 26. But the last 5 years, I have no idea where they've gone, and the next 5 years will probably go even faster. Like, life goes very quick, so you need to understand that if you're not doing something right now that makes you completely happy, or that you're completely happy with your performance, there's only one person who can really change that. And that, you might get a bit of motivation from this, but I'll probably go down and I'll probably say that 95% of people listening to this podcast won't do anything with it. They won't take any action from what they've heard. And that sucks, right? Because the only person who can take action from what you've heard in this podcast is you. Like, you can get all the accountability you want, but it's not until you raise your standard and realise that the only person who needs to hold you accountable is you. Because at 4 a.m, when my alarm goes off, who's holding me accountable to get up in the morning? No one. No one. Like, I'll wake up next to Robin, but really, the only person the only standard I'm setting is for myself. So set the standard now, right? That for the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to learn about nutrition. If you don't feel ready, become ready now. Because you need to be. Because in 12 months, guess what? You're still going to be, or you're going to be even worse than you are now. And you'll think back to this video and you'll be like, I wish I wish I did this then, I did that, and that is no way to live life. Just take it by the fucking horns and realise that the time is never going to be right to commit 15 minutes to your day, every day, tracking the fucking calorie. Trust me, I don't like it. But when it changes your life, and it changes lives of others, you realise that I kind of need to do this for a little bit. I'm not saying do it forever. I'm saying do it for a little bit. Learn about food, then stop it, because it is stupid. But until you understand food, you're going to be stupid about it. Therefore, I want to get people to get to a point where they're getting the most out of their life. And nutrition enables us to do that. So become more educated on it. Don't take advantage of life whilst it's on your terms. My granddad ain't got that advantage anymore. There's nothing he can do. He's unhealthy. His health markers are sliding. They're getting negative every day, and he's given up. While you have this, whilst it's on your terms, make it what you want it to be. Don't be a victim of everything. Just don't be the victim. You're sat there thinking, "Oh, I've not got what I want. Not got this. Or not got that." There's a lot that you do have that you should be fucking really grateful for, and then realise that what you have got tomorrow is 24 hours. It's the same amount of time that everyone else has got. Let's say you wake up at 7, right? Let's say you've got 15, 16 hours till you go to bed. Everyone else has got them hours as well. Are you using them in a way that's going to serve you and that's going to bring you forward towards the goals you got set? Are your actions in line with your goals, like I'm saying earlier, or are they not? And this is when you need to realise that you have to spend every day and treat it like it's not opportunity for you to move the needle from where you are now to where you want to be. Because not everyone has that opportunity. They can't all do that. But if you're listening to this, there's a good chance that you can. Make the most of that. Take advantage of it. You're not doing this for anyone else. You're doing it for you. Please wrap your head around what I'm trying to say here. We only get one life. So just do me one favour. Go and do something with this rant. It will change your life. I just want to end this podcast with just to say, the fact that you're listening to this right now, and the fact that you're investing in you and trying to listen and trying to be more, which is the whole fucking brand, right, sets you apart, and it gives you that you're ahead of everyone else, right, because you're here now listening. Do me a favour and just literally go and do something with this talk, whether it be to inspire someone else to go and maybe start looking at their health a bit differently, or whether it to be yourself, or maybe go and get a group of you. But do you know what? Listen to this guy rant for 35, 40 minutes on a podcast and think, we should probably make 2018 the year that we turn things around with regards to our health, our exercise, our training regimen, how we generally feel. It might even be to go and start up ice skating. Just go and do something that you really want to go and do. It doesn't have to be tracking calories. It can just be one thing that you want to go and do. Why? Because you want to do it, and you have done for a while, but something's been stopping you. Realise that 2018 is going to go by pretty quick. You might as well spend it doing the things that you want to do, because the years will add up, and you'll be the last thing you want to do is get to the sofa where my granddad sat with any kind of regret, where you didn't do something that you wanted to get to do. He's probably got loads of things that he wanted to do, and he didn't. And we cannot take advantage of the era that we live in. He didn't grow up in the same kind of era that I'm in now. He didn't have the access to the opportunities that we have access to. There wasn't people doing podcasts like I am right now. And the opportunities right now that we have in life are real. The knowledge on how to lose weight wasn't present then. They didn't need it. Everyone was out playing in the streets. There weren't people sat around watching TVs eating Doritos all night. Nothing wrong with that. Just make it fucking fit you and your energy balance if you want to see great results, and you want to be healthy, and you want to set an example to everyone around you. This is what's possible, and this is what you can go and do. Make this the video, all the podcasts that you listen to or watch, that makes you get off your ass and go and take action. You got this. Thanks for listening, guys. More content coming. I've now got full-time videographer and content producer, which enables me to then produce more podcasts, more content, and just generally try and make a greater difference in the world, because that's generally what I'm trying to do. and it's just going to be one area at a time. Might just be in Portsmouth, but eventually my message will get out, because it's one that I want to shout to the rooftops about. And I'm not like, I know what I'm saying is right. I know that calories aren't going to change overnight. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, calories don't actually work. Energy balance doesn't actually work to get people lean. Like, I know, I've done my years, I've done my research, and I continue to every day to stay up to date with the research to know what gets people results. I know I'm good at what I do, and I also am self-aware enough to realise that I'm also pretty good at motivating people to make a difference too. And when I combine the two, I'm not doing myself or the world, I'm doing everyone an injustice if I don't do this. So you're going to be hearing a lot more of me, and I'm going to be doing my best to try and motivate as many people as I can to be healthier, fitter, and generally just to be happier, and to live off the mindset of one fucking life. Be more, go out there and do what you want to do, and enjoy it for what it is, and just be happy, make everyone else around you happy. And the more people we can get with this kind of mindset, the greater the message we can spread of positivity, energy, like health, and just that will then just change the world. And that's generally what I want to do. Deep stuff on episode 18 of the podcast, but don't worry, I'm not always this deep. Like, I do go for a gin every now and then and have a normal conversation, but I generally want to make a difference, and this is what I'm going to use this podcast to try and enable me to do. If you like it, then please share it with someone else who you feel could benefit with it, and over time that this will grow, and this will help more and more people. And I generally believe that, and I will keep going with it and until it does. And I don't have a number what I've got set on. I just know I want to make a difference, so I'll just keep going until it does. So thanks for listening, guys. I really value your feedback. Give us a rating on iTunes if that's how you're listening, or on YouTube, or on SoundCloud, whatever platform you're on, or if you're listening on Facebook or Instagram. I really do value your feedback, and I want to make sure that I'm channeling this content in a way that does help you. So if there's things you want me to talk about, or things that you want, questions you want me to answer, or anything, or any thing that you're struggling with that you feel like I could add value to, then it probably would help someone else too. So just tell me, and I'll make a podcast or a video, or I'll do something to try and help you. Or if it's more personal, then let's keep it personal, and I'll help you in that kind of level as well. But yeah, thanks for your time. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, do something with this talk. Go and do something. Cheers, guys. See you soon.